Hello everyone, and welcome to Fandom Canon. Today, we're talking about plot holes in movies and TV shows. Surprise, surprise, a video essay channel that picks on pop culture icons. How original. But wait, this video is actually about defending these plot holes. What if I told you that there is a very easy and obvious way to defend a large number of flaws in famous works? I'm talking about alternate realities with different rules from each other. Here's 3 plot holes fixed by alternate realities. Number 1. Hell's Kitchen isn't that bad. In the Marvel Universe, Hell's Kitchen alone has 2, sometimes 3 superheroes protecting it, and that's not even counting Spider-Man, who can easily swing by and lend a hand. Now, the neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen is pretty big, it's just not that bad. Historically, it once was a den of mob violence, and due to it only recently getting one freaking subway stop way down at its southernmost end, it has a reputation of being quite insular. But over the past 20 years or so, gentrification has completely transformed the neighborhood. Sure, there's still that one creepy street by the Port Authority bus terminal, but for the most part, Daredevil would be battling the ever-rising cost of rent and HOA fees. There's no way a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a codependent brother and sister could afford apartments this big in this neighborhood, or anywhere in New York for that matter. Unless, of course, New York was never gentrified like it was in our universe. The fact is, the Marvel Universe is just that, its own universe. I don't recall seeing Stark Tower the last time I was in Manhattan, and that means that the city the Defenders live in is not at all the same as the one you and I can go visit in this reality. Therefore, any number of things could be different. For example, the crime rate could have never gone down and the cost of living never gone up, thus justifying the plethora of superheroes. Number 2. Pretty much everything about House MD. Where to start? There is no way a team of doctors with backgrounds in different fields would ever work together like this. There is no way a hospital would put up with House's behavior no matter how brilliant he is, especially since he doesn't do his paperwork, so he isn't even publishing articles and earning them grant money. There are no tests for half of the stuff they run tests for. The ones that do exist don't go that fast, and some of the diseases we do actually have tests for, they don't use in the show. But what if, in the universe of Princeton Plainsboro Hospital, human evolution took a slightly different path than in ours? What if humans developed to have a better understanding of rationalism than of empiricism, or deductive reasoning than of inductive? This would explain why everyone in the show is pretty mean. They have evolved to have an appreciation for the ability to figure things out before they happen, and mock each other for being wrong. Sure, House is even meaner than the rest of the characters, but they are like him just enough for him not to get fired. This slight difference in thought patterns would have changed the entire way humans approach the scientific method. Their superior reasoning would allow them to develop medical tests and technology that we don't have, and our acceptance of mistakes and willingness to learn empirically would mean that we'd have some tests that they don't have. Essentially, our hospitals would be about on par with each other, but with slight differences in protocol and treatment methods.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Number 3. Cheesy callback lines in Star Wars. It's no secret that some of the lines in Star Wars movies sound a bit campy. George Lucas has been pretty unapologetic about the fact that these movies are just supposed to be fun space operas and not Shakespeare.
Bad feeling about this.
But since it has developed with such an analytical fan base, the writing in Star Wars has been picked apart and put back together again many times. One of the corniest things seen throughout the series is the use of repeated phrases that often act as a sort of running gag.
Where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins.
Impressive. Most impressive.
These callbacks get a little stale after a while, but what if they're not really callbacks? There is one line that is repeated many times but doesn't seem as cheesy.
May the Force be with you.
But that's because it's a saying, something that anyone could say in the right context and be understood. But what if the other repeated phrases are just sayings in the Star Wars universe too? Anyone who's seen the Clone Wars show knows that some variant of "I've got a bad feeling about this" is uttered in almost every episode.
I have a
Bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
But perhaps that's just something people say in the Star Wars galaxy when they're about to do something dangerous. It could be their version of "here goes nothing." Imagine someone from Star Wars watching movies set in our reality. They'd be baffled as to why we keep wishing leg injuries onto one another and why we insist on following up demands with a count to 3. Star Wars isn't using lazy writing and self-referential humor. It's demonstrating a unique culture complete with its own idioms. Well, what do you think? Leave me a comment below to agree or disagree. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Or you can check out some of my other videos right now by